Hello, it's Mike back once again with tip number 83 from our top 100 tips, tools, and life lessons from the Insight One Awakening Heart Seminar. And we're going to continue on our theme in terms of really focusing on and manifesting more of what you want in your life with the use of your focus, your imagination, and where you place your intention. We talked a lot about affirmations and visualizations as some ways to create that kind of inner space and create that image inside of you. And remembering that what you create powerfully inside of you begins to manifest outside of you, especially when you're taking action. And we're going to take that next step now and move into action. Something we call act as if. Acting as if who you want to become is already true now. It's one of the most powerful ways to accelerate your process of manifesting more of what you want in your life. It can also be one of the more confronting ones. And it literally means as you dream your dream, as you envision, affirm, visualize where you want to go, and experience what it's going to feel like to be there, to actually embody that, begin to act like that. So let's say that I'm envisioning that I'm wealthy, that I'm abundant financially. How would I approach money? What would I act as? Now, one of the things that's tricky in terms of acting as if is not to do something irresponsible, but begin to notice maybe you'd give bigger tips. Maybe instead of, you'd give a couple extra dollars when you tip, or maybe you would invest differently. Think about investing your money differently. Maybe you'd think about different kinds of purchases you'd make, bigger purchases. So if you had if you had a net worth of say $20 million, just throwing that out, how would you think differently? And then how would you act in that space? Some of the examples of people that have done that have been kind of fun. I'll share one of my own examples. Is up until a point in time in my life, and after I got involved with doing Insight, I was doing an Insight workshop on abundance and prosperity. And at the break, we had an assignment, or on lunch break, we had an assignment to go do something that would stretch our comfort zone, that would demonstrate that we saw ourselves as more abundant and more worthy of some of the things that we wanted in our life. And I decided to go into a men's clothing store. I had never before bought anything new. I'd grown up, with a mentality from my father, which was, you saved money. You only got the essentials. You got things used. So I thought I'd go in and I'd have them fit me for a suit. And my intent was simply to kind of have the experience of going in and being fitted for a suit, which may sound like a fairly insignificant thing to many of you, but it was well out of my comfort zone at the time. And then, of course, after they fitted me with the suit, what did I do? I bought the suit. And so I ended up buying, I think, maybe a $300 or $400 suit, not extremely expensive, but a lot of money for me at the time. And what it reinforced was acting as if. I was actually putting my body on the line. I was taking actions consistent with who I wanted to become, consistent with someone who is worthy to have a new suit, someone who is also abundant in terms of their choices, also somebody who sees himself as successful. So if I want to be around successful people, I want to be dressed well and look good. So consistent with a number of aspects of the vision I was holding. I've had examples of people get in and go to a dealership for a car dealership for maybe a high-end car. I asked her to go on a test ride and get in the car and feel like what it feels to drive a Maserati or could be any other kind of car, but actually have that experience, embody that experience. Those are just a couple of examples. You can do the same things in terms of thinking about relationships, in terms of health, in terms of almost anything you envision. How would you act as if now? What could you embrace in terms of your actions now that would be consistent with that while also being responsible? So there is a responsibility component. You don't do anything that's kind of irresponsible, but this is an excellent way to stretch your comfort zone in service of more of who you want to become and creating more of the experience you want to have as you move forward. Once again, thanks for listening. Check out what's happening at Insight Boston at insightboston.org, what's happening globally at insightseminars.org, and certainly check out what's happening in your local Insight community. Have a great day.